We all have seen those action movies where the hero goes guns a-blazing and saves the damsel in distress, saves the country, and saves the world. We also have seen on the news where an ill person commits a mass shooting and ruins a lot of lives, as well as take lives. These two spectrums or outcomes show two sides of a long debate that has been argued for decades now. That is, whether more gun control is good or whether we need less gun control. The main point I want to show is that guns are not the causes of murder, but instead are a victim of abuse. The reason to give this speech is to show that guns are not just tools of mass destruction, but instead are tools that have been wrongly labeled. What is gun control? Gun control is the set of laws or policies that regulate the manufacture, sale, transfer, possession, modification, or use of firearms by civilians. I'd like to go over the points. Guns don't kill people. Point 2, guns are a deterrent to crime. Point 3, guns are not the only weapon used in a crime. And 4, guns are a tool and should be taught how to use correctly. Point 1, guns don't kill people. A gun is an inanimate object. If you look at a gun, can you see eyes, hands, feet? Can it load itself? Can it get up, walk, shoot, and aim? It's impossible for an inanimate object to think on its own. You do not see a fork pick itself up, put food in it, then put it in your mouth. It's impossible. Point 2, guns are a deterrent to crime. PhD Simmons, author of More Guns, Less Crime, Understanding Crimes and Gun Control Laws, stated this in his book. States with the largest increase in gun ownership also have the largest drop in violent crimes. A study was done on the 26th of November 2013, and it showed that between 1980 and 2009, assault weapon bans did not significantly affect murder rates at the state level. But it did show that states with restrictions on carrying of concealed weapons had a higher gun-related murder. Why is this? Shouldn't more gun control and take guns off the street? Shouldn't it cause less people to have guns, which in return murders drop? That's fool's theology right there, you might say. Journalist John Strassel explained this. Criminals do not obey the law. Without the fear of retaliation from victims who might be packing, criminals in possession of these weapons have a very much easier job. You don't just open your door to a robber and say, here, there you go. It's unlocked. It's all yours. That's making their job a lot easier. Criminals always go after the low-hanging fruit. They're not just dumb. They think about, well, they're not the greatest thinkers because they want to commit the crime, but they won't go after somebody who's armed. They'll always go after the person that's not. In most cases, at least. There's always those outliers. And this has been shown. A survey done on the FBI Bureau page, May 9th of 2013, 48% of convicted felons who have committed assault, badgering, any kind of violent crime, including murder, 48% of them admitted that they avoided committing those crimes to people who they knew that were armed with a gun. Point 3. Guns aren't the only weapon used in a crime. on October 16th of 2017, another statistic was posted on the FBI page. According to statistics, more people are murdered with knives or are beaten to the death with rifles. If you look at the UCR chart, table 12, you will see that 374 people were shot and killed with weapons of any kind, but 1,604 people were killed with knives or cutting instruments. If you break that down in fractions, it goes down to 1 in 4. One out of every 4 crimes is committed with a gun, while the rest are committed with a knife or anything that you can find in a common household. 2,049 people were killed by a hit-and-run crash in 2016, which is a 62% increase from 2009. The downward trend for guns is showing that less murders and less accidents are happening with guns, while more accidents are happening with knives, with cars. More people are using knives and cars to rob people and to murder people. My last point is this: guns are a tool and should be treated as such, and should be taught how to be used properly. You do not pick up a chainsaw and expect to know everything about it. You do not pick up a chainsaw without first understanding how to use it properly, or being explained or taught how to use it. Which is why a lot of people are advocating for this. Safety, gun safety should be taught. In the southern states, it's still taught in some schools. And those states are showing the record that there's less accidents of kids getting in their parents' drawers, picking up the gun and accidentally pulling the trigger, leading to an accidental death. Few of that's happening where safety is being taught. So why do we not make this a trend? We've talked about how guns don't kill people, that guns are a deterrent to crime. Guns are not the only weapon used in a crime. And guns are a tool and should be treated as such with safety. Guns are not just a weapon that people use to kill people, but instead they are a victim of circumstance and abuse. We don't say that forks make people fat. So why should we say that guns kill people? Why is a tool being blamed for grown man or grown woman's actions? To anyone who owns a gun or knows someone with a gun, I beg of you to do this. Pick up the gun, put it on the table, take 10 feet back, and say, "Gun, shoot." You will see that the gun does not shoot. Thank you.